mental health portion of legislation, kids portion, CPS, all that, we're dealing with people. And it's so easy to lose track of that.
Texans Care for Children works on juvenile justice, health, child protection, early opportunities, which includes early education, and mental health.
I mean, things wouldn't get done that are getting done if it weren't for agencies like Texans Care.
Lifelong habits are formed in childhood, whether we're talking about exercise or healthful eating, or whether a mother breastfed her child. And Texans Care for Children advocates for all of those things to make them a reality for every child in Texas.
We are a nonprofit policy organization that works solely to improve outcomes for Texas kids. Each of our policy staff, they're continuously bringing Texans from all across the state to our coalitions to ensure that we're getting as many voices to the table as possible, so that when we develop a statewide policy, it's really informed by as many voices and as many communities as possible.
As we're looking at legislation, we need to hear directly from foster kids, foster parents, the agency themselves, because we need to hear from the people who've got the hands-on experience.
I have a lot of friends that didn't make it out of the situation. I very nearly didn't myself, and I really feel like having literally my whole entire upbringing being in foster care and making it out of the situation, that it would be kind of selfish to not speak out and say something about it. It started with Texans Care.
I know that when I connect with Texans Care for Children, they're going to help keep me informed.
Anytime we have legislation that we're looking at, it's beneficial to talk to who it's going to affect. It's so important that we see what's actually happening.
Andrea invited me to come testify before the commissioners of the Texas Department of Family Protective Services about child care ratios. And I told them what it's like in the classroom on the street with the ratios that they have.
I worked on a bill with Texans Care for Children having to do with foster youth being in the courtroom during their hearings. No one else is really going to be affected by this except for the kids. So why shouldn't they be kept in the loop on everything that's happening?
I have found Texans Care to be very beneficial, giving us information on how policy that we already have in place affects how they work, how the agencies work, how our constituents get their care on the other end.
We really are a connector for advocates across the state to our policymakers. It's about making sure that we're ahead of the game, that we're not just trying to ameliorate ills once we've gone off track, but that folks are starting on the path to success.